just weighs a ton. So that too, oh my gosh, I just squirted it in my eye, guys. Hello, welcome to my kitchen. And if you're new here, I'm so glad to have you. My name is Amanda, and I like to cook without recipes, but I do use recipes for inspiration. So this week, when I was putting together my menu plan, I was scrolling along on Pinterest, as one does, I'm sure, right? And I kept coming across this dish called Sante Fe Chicken. And it got me questioning, like, what makes the difference between Sante Fe Chicken and like other dishes that I've seen that are similar called Tex-Mex? Not really 100% sure. I think it has something to do with like having the corn and the black beans. It looks delicious, and so, well, let's make this dish. All right, so we're gonna start by taking some chicken breasts and filleting them in half. I pretty much do this anytime I want a whole chicken breast, just because, one, it makes the cooking time go a little faster, it gives you more surface area for seasoning your chicken, and it create smaller portion sizes if you don't want an entire chicken breast. So often, you know, I'll only eat half of a chicken breast. So I'm gonna take 3, we're a family of 4, so we typically will eat each half of a chicken breast, and then I'll have some for leftovers, or if someone is extra hungry that day, they can have seconds. I've got teenage girls that are in Taekwondo, that's where they are right now, working up an appetite when they get home. Some days they're really hungry and they want more. All right, so we got that. I'm gonna wash my hands and we'll season it up. I got some extra virgin olive oil, and sometimes I use this, sometimes I use avocado oil, just kind of random what I want. Sometimes I have a reason, but in this case, I think either would be good. This is some onion powder. I use onion powder and garlic powder in so much of my dishes these days. Just really good, easy too. Okay, so my secret ingredient. I loved smoked salt. So anytime I want a dish that has that like smoky flavor, oh, it smells so good. It's literally salt blocks or salt that they smoke in a big smoking machine. Oh man, I need to refill my little thing. I keep a big bag of it that I buy on Amazon. I'll link it below because this stuff is amazing. This is applewood smoke, but you can get mesquite smoked and several other ones. And I just pour it in here to keep it easy, but that should be plenty. And it's kind of like your really nice secret ingredient to have that smoke flavor. And then this paprika is also kind of a smoky flavor too. So I'm gonna add some paprika. Oh no, this is chili powder. But the chili powder has paprika in it, which is a smoky flavor. Yeah, paprika would be good too. Chili powder is usually a blend that has more garlic, and sometimes it has oregano, that kind of thing. And then I want to take one of my limes and I'm gonna cut on the counter. Don't let my kids see, because I would never let them do that. I didn't go all the way down to the counter. Okay, I'm just gonna take a lime and just kind of give it a good squeeze, and then I'm gonna serve extra lime at the end. Oh man, these smells, the smoky and the citrus, amazing. I love lemon and lime. All right, so then we're just gonna make sure all these seasonings get coated in the chicken really well, and we'll take it over to the skillet and get this chicken going. I think I need to add some under counter lighting here. We live in the Pacific Northwest and it is gloomy so often. I've got like all the lights on I can in the kitchen. All right, so I've been preheating this skillet. You want to use an oven safe skillet or pan, and if you don't have one, then you'll just transfer to an oven safe dish at the end. Oh, I forgot my tongs. I like to cook with tongs. It just makes the flipping of the chicken much much easier. So I put some avocado oil down in my skillet, and you want to hear this nice sizzle. That means your pan is nice and hot. And I take the chicken and I put it down and I layer it away from me so it doesn't splash up any oil. Let's see, this is my kind of small skillet. Normally I would use my cast iron skillet, but after making something in it the other day, what is beeping? Oh, my rice from, so I'm making rice in the Instapot, and so that's over there telling me that it's done. Anyway, yeah, so the other day I made something in my cast iron skillet, and instead of taking the time to clean it right away, I just stuck it in the oven. So when I went to go pull it out, oh man, it is like stuck on there. So it's gonna take some cleaning. So I just got my cast iron skillet set aside. I'm gonna have to spend time loving on it. And so tonight I'm just using this stainless steel skillet, which will work. All right, so we're gonna let this chicken cook for a few minutes per side. A tip is, you know, see how easy that was to flip? If you're using a nonstick skillet and you go, like right here, this one doesn't want to let go, that means that it's not ready to be flipped, and it will rip and tear and shred. If you just leave it on the hot skillet, you want your skillet hot enough, that's key. It will form a kind of a crust. It's called the Maillard effect, and it'll just release away when it's ready. See, like that one? Perfect. And then it's starting to get that pretty color. So I'm just gonna let this cook and then get these cooked up, and I'll be right back. All right, while I've got my second batch of chicken, because they wouldn't all fit in the skillet, I'm going to use this front burner here to roast a poblano pepper. So I'm just gonna set the poblano on this burner and rotate it every once in a while. So I'll show you that as I go, but I wanna move the camera back up here so we can see the chicken cooking. So this isn't cooked all the way through. I just got it started because we're gonna finish this dish off in the oven. But got my other two pieces in here and they're going, and we're gonna start cutting up some vegetables. So I got a nice pretty red bell pepper. I'm gonna cut the top off by just kind of going around like this. And you can take this part off and use it if you want. And then I reach in and twist, and that'll get you the seed pod. All right, and then I'm gonna cut off, they call them the cheeks of the bell pepper. Cut off the cheeks, and I don't really need actually that much. I'm just gonna use this part. I'll actually keep that other part, and I make salads for lunch a lot of times, and so I can chop up some of that in a salad this week. I like to, it's funny, my refrigerator is full of little random Ziploc bags of little things that I save, and I just kind of keep a mental inventory and use them up. Because sometimes, you know, you don't want to cut up a whole bell pepper for a salad, but adding just a little bit makes your salad for lunch that much interesting. And, you know, honestly, if we had some leftover of this chicken, chopping it up and adding it to some greens would make. Okay, I'm gonna lower the heat on this because, as you can see, my skillet is kind of getting dark and I don't want it to burn. And then I'm gonna flip my poblano here. So let's see how, let's see, it's starting to get kind of bubbly black on the end here, or the side, I mean. So, oh, and if you don't have a gas stove, you can put your poblano pepper under the broiler of your oven. Speaking of the oven, I have preheated it to 375, so that way we can finish this dish in the oven. So what I'm gonna do, I've got it, I'm gonna let these, got a lot of components working right now. So we're gonna keep this chicken cooking. I've got it kind of on low right now, and I'm just gonna push this bell pepper aside and cut up a little red onion right now. think I'm gonna do about half. Okay, before I cut that, this chicken is getting really hot, or the pan is getting really done. I'm gonna pull that off. I'm gonna flip my pepper again. Just keep rotating it. Chop up this onion. And then I'm gonna get this bell pepper. So right now I've got my skillet off because it was getting a little too hot for me. Chop up this onion, and we're gonna get the vegetables in the skillet. You could also use a white onion. Just the red onion, which is really purple, will give you a little bit extra color. All right, let me check my poblano again. See, it's getting nice and bubbly. Just keep rotating it. And all right, trying to figure out what I want to do next. Okay, got a can of black beans that I'm going to open. And I've got this kind of nifty device. It's a strainer for a can. It's pretty cool. So you just put it on top of your can, and then this is my little garbage bowl that I work with next to the stove. Give it a nice good shake. My puppy is down at my feet hoping that I will drop something. All right, I'm just gonna set this down in my bowl for right now because it's sticky. Or not sticky, but you know what I mean. All right, we're gonna add some more oil. We're gonna add these beans. We're gonna add the onion and bell pepper. Oh, I need to turn my poblano again. A lot of components happening all at once right here. Oh, it's looking good. Okay. And I'm using some mild salsa. You can use Rotel tomatoes. You can just use fire roasted canned tomatoes. If you use just fire roasted tomatoes, then you could also add a can of chilies to it. Let me grab a spoon. Let me give this a good stir. This becomes our sauce for the chicken. And I'm kind of scraping up those flavor bits at the bottom of the pan. Oh man. I can guarantee right now, I'm gonna love this dish, but my kids are not. They're not gonna love the bell pepper. They'll eat it. My kids are really good eaters. They just, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and turn off this poblano pepper. Oh wait, wrong burner. All right, now I'm gonna add just some frozen corn. And we'll put the chicken back in. Okay, hold on. Let me stir the corn in first. And put the chicken in along with these juices that it has to kind of add to the sauce. Oh, I really wish I had my bigger skillet. All right, I'm trying to get some of the beans and corn and all that on top of the chicken a little bit. And then I'm gonna grab some cheese out of the oven. I'm gonna grab some cheese out of the refrigerator, put it on top. We're gonna stick this guy in the oven. I'll be right back. All right, so I've got some Mexican style blend cheese that I'm gonna sprinkle on top, and a little bit of Monterey Jack cheese, which this has Monterey Jack in it too, but I'm just using what I have in my refrigerator. I buy random cheeses for the week, and then I usually buy like an Italian and a couple Mexican, you know, just whatever cheese catches my fancy. And then I just make it work that week. All right, so just put a little more cheese here. And then we're gonna pop this in the oven, and I'll probably check on it in about 10 minutes because like I said, I'd already pre-cooked the chicken in the skillet, so it just needs to cook all the way through, and the cheese needs to get bubbly. And yeah, this dinner's come together with the rice. It's gonna be delicious. So actually, the handle's not hot yet. It's only gonna be hot when I pull it out of the oven. Oh my gosh, this weighs a ton. All right, we'll be back in a little. While that's in the oven, I just took this over to the sink and tried to peel off some of the skin. It should come off fairly easy. You can also put it in a Ziploc bag and let it steam for a few minutes while it's still hot, and that will help soften it up and let the skin peel off a lot easier also. But this one's pretty soft, so I'm good. I'm gonna chop this up and serve it on the side because me and my husband love poblano peppers, but my kids don't. And then I'm gonna chop up some more lime and avocado to put on top. Oh my gosh, I'm like really excited about dinner tonight. So yeah, I don't know if I've ever cooked anything quite like this before. I'm pretty sure I have, but if I have, it's been a while. So I'm just gonna cut up a little bit of this because Hubs and I won't need that much, and then I'll use the rest like in a breakfast dish. Like I love making breakfast hash with poblano, and like I said, you know, if I use some of this leftover chicken in a salad, I'll add some more poblano to that too. Oh my gosh, I just squirted it in my eye, guys. I'm surprised that doesn't sting as bad as it should. Okay, I'm okay. Wow, that was lucky. This must be a pretty mild pepper. Whew, the dangers of cooking. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes and this is what it looks like now. So I'm gonna cut into one of the chickens and see if it's done. Or even better, I'm gonna use my probe thermometer. I'm just gonna try to pick one up a little bit and stick my probe up. You wanna make sure that you get it in the chicken and not sticking out. And you want it to be 165 degrees. Oh, I'm guessing this isn't, it's going really slow. Yeah, okay, so this still needs quite a while. I'm gonna go ahead and turn my oven. I have it at 3. So my dog, yesterday, he went to the doggy dentist, the vet, and he had 2 teeth extracted. And he keeps having a lot of saliva and he keeps choking on saliva and he's making horrible noises. Okay, so I've got it set for 375, but I'm gonna go ahead and up it to like 400 and stick this back in here. And then we'll check on it again in a little bit. All right, I just pulled it out of the oven. It looks amazing. I bumped it up to broil for the last little bit. And here, let me show you what it looks like. So I like my cheese to be broiled. You don't have to do that if you don't prefer that flavor, but I love browned cheese. So I wanna take a moment to tell you thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button. It makes a YouTuber's heart smile. I'm gonna plate this up and I'll show you a finished plate.